I am Kesten Rono, and you are here for another After Dark audio-only session of our exploration of A Course in Miracles. Today is lesson 52, which is again review. Yesterday, we reviewed lessons 1 through 5, and today will be 6 through 10. And for the next 8 days, we will continue reviewing lessons 1 through 50 until they are complete. Yesterday, we also reviewed Principle 1, as there are 50 principles, so all 50 principles were covered as we covered the first 50 lessons. Rather than begin the principles all over again now, I've decided that we will continue the principles when we get to day 61, which is when we will be introduced to a new idea for a new lesson. So the format moving forward will follow as Principle 1 through 50 corresponds with Lesson 1 through 50. Then Lesson 51 to 60 are review lessons as designed in this book. Lesson 61, moving forward for the next 50 days, will also correspond with reviewing Principle 1 through 50. So today instead, I'd like to review a few notes, part of the introduction for the review section, which we're continuing today, which I did not cover yesterday. We will be reading 5 ideas per day. I'm going to summarize this section. We would like to review these as often as possible as we can throughout the day. If one of the 5 ideas appeals to us more than the others, we can concentrate on just that one. But at the end of the day, if you want to return to this video, you want to review all of the review lessons one more time. You don't have to read the comments, which I note are stated in a first-person format. They feel like mantras, whereas the lessons themselves were using the you format. So if you want to listen to the lesson in its entirety, that's great. Thank you so much for listening. But if at the end of the day you would rather just review the lessons as they have been phrased, 1 through 5 yesterday, and today 6 through 10, for example, you can find those in the description of the videos. The text here notes that for review purposes, some of the ideas are not given in quite their original form. Use them as they are given here, which I will put in the descriptions. It is not necessary to return to the original statements, not to apply the ideas as we suggested then. We are now emphasizing the relationships among the first 50 of the ideas we have covered, and the cohesiveness of the thought system to which they are leading you. It seems to be insinuating that bundling these 5 at a time is helping us to create some kind of additional structure to assimilate the ideas as we move forward for the next section of lessons. So please, do what this book is suggesting and devote 2 minutes or more to each practice period, thinking about the idea and the related comments after listening to me share them with you, and do this as often as possible. It is not necessary to cover the comments that follow each idea, either literally or thoroughly in the practice periods. Try, rather, to emphasize the central point, and think about it as part of your review of the idea to which it relates. After you have read the idea and the related comments, or rather, I have read them to you, the exercises should be done with your eyes closed and when you are alone in a quiet place, if possible. I'm alone in a quiet place. This next part is very interesting. This is emphasized for practice periods at your stage of learning. It will be necessary, however, that you learn to require no special settings in which to apply what you have learned. I really like this part, as it's setting the stage for what the future will hold and how we are working with these lessons. That we are going to move beyond our eyes closed, quiet, serene places for reflection, and see ourselves out in the world as peace. As the book continues, you will need your learning most in situations that appear to be upsetting, rather than in those that are already seen to be calm and quiet. The purpose of your learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you and to heal distress and turmoil. Let's read that again. The purpose of your learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you. That's beautiful. So we're training inside of the quiet, where it might be easier for us to find ease. But ultimately, this quiet is something that we will come to know, which we will carry with us wherever we go. The purpose of your learning is to enable you to bring the quiet with you and to heal distress and turmoil. This is not done by avoiding them and seeking a haven of isolation for yourself. We are here to integrate these ideas into ourselves, this book is saying, and then ultimately to share that integration out in the world. For if we have something, then we may offer something, and we know that it is a blessing both to give and to receive. So I'm enjoying the encouragement here to build up our skills while we can here, and ultimately seek to open ourselves to offer this peace in all areas of chaos around the world. This next section that I'll finally read here, I thought was the most exciting portion. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere, as you are. Let's read that again. You will yet learn that peace is part of you and requires only that you be there to embrace any situation in which you are. And finally, you will learn that there is no limit to where you are, so that your peace is everywhere, as you are. So that our peace may be everywhere, as we are everywhere. This is an exciting idea. Lesson 52. Today's review covers these ideas. I am upset because I see what is not there. Please repeat after me. I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I am always upset by nothing. Please repeat after me again. I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. We need not be afraid. It is impossible that it could upset me. We need not be afraid. Reality brings only perfect peace. If perfect peace is our goal, perfect safety is our goal, then true reality, true vision provides us only that which we ultimately seek, a safe haven. When I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up. This is insinuating that we are building in darkness, that we do not understand, and we do not understand reality. Therefore, our interpretation is naturally upsetting to us, as we do not operate from the realm of knowledge, and we do not have the oversight to create without confusion. The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality, and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I am always upset by nothing. Illusions, lies, fear, the tools of the ego are meaningless from the lens of truth, which simply sees right through them. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by the confusion we are creating, building in darkness and calling it light. Please repeat after me one more time. I am upset because I see what is not there. Lesson 7 review. I see only the past. Please repeat after me. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who, capital H, who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past and therefore no enemies, and I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. Please repeat after me. I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. That we are image making, and whatever we see, we are somehow believing that it is our enemy, that we are in attack against it, that this is the fundamental nature of the ego, believing that it must defend itself. Otherwise, it surely will suffer certain death if we are able to wake up to the truth, rather than what we believe we are seeing is the truth, that its entire survival relies on telling us a lie, and therefore it is in constant battle with God, when God is only love, the unconditional, and will simply wear it down like surrounding a fort and choking off the food supplies. Although, then again, God is not offering a form of attack. It just simply is, and lies themselves require constant input of energy in order to exist, always working hard to make sure there is a cover-up over the truth, adding more and more layers of confusion and distraction and oppression until we find ourselves depressed and angry. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. This happens when our mind is focused in the past, which by definition cannot be the present. It simply is the past. And if it is not the present, it is not here now, and therefore is an illusion. So we are dragging forward ideas of the past that we are holding in our mind based off of our attack thoughts and assigning them to things that we discover in the present, which then makes us justify the fact that we must defend something and therefore must attack something. And when we feel this way and everyone around us feels this way, the idea becomes normalized. And it is a challenging thing, we imagine, to be able to even dream of a new system. However, the book continues, when I have forgiven myself, interesting, that forgiveness starts with ourselves, or at least ends with ourselves, once we are finally able to forgive ourselves. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, who, capital H, obviously referring to some divine idea of ourselves, as we call him God with a capital H or capital G, or Son of God, capital S and capital G, who I am. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past, and therefore no enemies. How do we bless everyone and everything we see? Well, if it's everyone and everything we see, whenever we wake up to whatever who we are, we must be seeing something for its universal purpose, that we are in love with these ideas. It is a blessing to give and to receive, and perhaps we are able to bestow our true vision on every item, which is a blessing in its own right. There will be no past, and therefore no enemies. This simply means that we are not charging our present with the past and therefore have nothing to defend and nothing to fight. We are simply experiencing. And if we are experiencing truly in our holiness, we are experiencing with peace and love. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. I love this line. We believe we are seeing, but we are image making. And we have assigned attack thoughts to what we are finding around us. But there are no neutral things because there are no neutral thoughts. And as we step into true vision, we are able to see truth from illusions. Well, we will look on with love all that we failed to truly see before then. Please repeat after me one more time. I see only the past. Review of Lesson 8. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Please repeat after me. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see it as? What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from drawing on my mind. Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in doing so, I am giving up nothing. Please repeat after me. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. This is again reminding us that our focus is squarely in the past, that we are using the past to shape the structure and system of our present because it gives us some sense of comfort to create a shape that feels predictable. But we are busying our mind, again, applying constant energy to something that is taking from us our life savings as we must invest ourselves in this illusion. What then can I see as it is? This question is saying, how can we possibly know the true meaning of anything that we may notice if we are constantly shaping it based off of our experiences of the past? Let me remember that I can look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. This sentence is saying that we will always fall short of presence in the present if we are looking at the past to give us meaning. If we are always looking at the past to offer us insight into what is happening now or what we believe is the future, then we cannot wake up to the present moment, that our energy is being spent on an untruth, on a lie, and we will not be able to truly see until we can forego those ideas and forgive ourselves for having invested in them. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Miracles are the device for controlling time. We are reminded that in this way they are timeless. God is in the realm of knowledge, not in some realm of time. He is beyond it in the laws of eternity. So, if we are building with illusion, and God knows everything, and the ability to build with illusion is part of what experience could be, but does not offer us any means of true discovery, what threat would God ever be under from his vantage point? How could we ever use time against something that is beyond the laws of time? That they would be beyond the laws of time, of course, by nature, in order to know all things in the realm of knowledge. And from this realm of knowledge, they have created whatever it is that we are, including time. How could we ever successfully use time against God? Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in doing so, I am giving up nothing. How can it be true that when we give up the past, we give up nothing? Isn't that everything we have ever been and our entire story? The reason that it would be nothing is because the past, again, by definition, is not the present. It is the past. So it is not here now, and it is simply an illusion. How could you give up anything if what you have been focusing on is actually nothing at all? It's meaningless. And to wake up to nothingness allows us the opportunity to notice what else could be there when we are not requiring that the past shape who and what we are. Please repeat after me one more time. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Review of Lesson 9. I see nothing as it is now. Please repeat after me. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. Please repeat after me. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. If we are in the present and we see nothing, I guess that is saying simply that the past, which we have been assigning ourselves to, is an illusion. If it is an illusion, it is literally nothing. It is not there. So this is what it is saying, I suppose, when it says, it can truly be said that we see nothing. I can see only what is now. That would make sense. That is us aligned with this idea of truth in presence, which we have been extracting from ourselves by giving our allegiance to the past. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. Let's repeat that. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. That seeing is something beyond our eyes that takes us into the realm of the invisible. That seeing has something to do with recognizing what is true and what is false, and being in divine connection to God and His voice as a mind of God's mind. If we are focusing on seeing the past, we are definitely tricking ourselves into believing that we have control over the present in this way. Please repeat after me. I see nothing as it is now. And finally, review of Lesson 10. My thoughts do not mean anything. Please repeat after me. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts, yet it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private, in quotes, private thoughts? Please repeat after me. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts. This is true because, according to this text, that our thoughts are God's thoughts, and God's thoughts are our thoughts, and that our original thoughts have not gone anywhere at all. They simply exist in the source, which is God, and the source of miracles, which is love. And if we are miracles, this book tells us, then God is love. So I have no private thoughts, yet it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. We are spending our time spinning our wheels, attempting to make sense of whatever it is that is happening in life without ever accepting an idea of true vision. These thoughts, the private thoughts that we are aware of, they do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Our private thoughts do not exist and mean, therefore, nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. This could be obvious if we allow ourselves to imagine that there is an invisible, that we have denied our bodies and assumed a spirit identification. From here, our mind could be connected directly to God's mind. And this sentence, yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator, then this sentence would be divinely true. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? Again, these thoughts cannot be private because our mind is connected to God and our thoughts are literally His thoughts. It seems that possibly this is even a reason why we're created, if a reason why exists at all. Would I not rather join in the thinking of the universe? That's a pretty crazy statement. What is the thinking of the universe? Certainly not a topic anyone I know has ever brought up. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine? All that is really mine. We are reminded of the line, what you want is yours. Again, not for the taking. but for the being. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? Why meaningless? Oh, if they are illusions, if they are fear-based, they have no meaning in the light of truth. Please repeat after me one more time. My thoughts do not mean anything. Okay, thank you so much for your patience as we adapt to the structure of this book. Thank you for reviewing these principles and these comments, and I hope you were able to review the principles themselves before tomorrow. I am Kesten Rono, and I am sustained by the love and light and life of God.